What's up, y'all? Just wanted to share some scripture and stuff that I was diving in a little earlier today. Today I was reading in James, kind of talking about the power of the tongue and how you talk and respond and interact. And I'll tell you guys that I'm not a person that just likes to talk bad about people. That's not one of my things. I'm not one of those guys that kind of just talks out their neck either. You know what I'm saying? I don't boast about myself. But I was reading James and I was understanding and learning that sometimes the bad corruption in your tongue isn't just how you speak towards other people. Sometimes it's how you speak over your own life. And sometimes it's also how you speak over the situations and things that God has called you in. So sometimes the places that you're in, you may not be one to talk about other people all the time, but you may talk really negatively, and really bad about the stuff that you're dealing with. So I wanted to go all the way to James 3. It says, "Not many of you should become teachers, for you know that we who teach will be judged in a greater strictness." And I thought this was really cool because it made me think about every time I make a video or share the love of Jesus, that I am going to be judged in that same way that I'm judging others, right? So I'm going to be critiqued in the same way that I'm critiquing others, right? Because the Lord is seeing all, and it literally says that the teachers will be judged greater. It made me want to walk in what God has called me to 10 times more, but also be conscious of how I speak and talk whenever things don't go as I planned. You know what I'm saying? So your character is going to be determined by what comes out your mouth. A lot of times we look at actions, a lot of times we look at, status or following and stuff like that, but ultimately their character is defined by how you act and how you speak, and mainly by why you speak, because sometimes people are going to remember the things you said to them and not just what you do, and not just the status and not just the followers, the connections and the reach and stuff. They're going to look at what you said to them. If you said something that put them down, I promise they'll never forget. And sometimes, like I've said it 1,000 times, you don't always get another chance to make it right with them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you burn that one bridge and that's all you get to burn. You know what I mean? I thought this was a good read today. James was the brother of Jesus. He wrote to help Christians live out the real faith. He also saw Jesus as his brother. He never really saw Jesus as this miracle worker until he rose from the dead, and I thought this was cool because sometimes you don't realize the people that are right beside you, the people that are in the same vicinity as you, because you're looking at them through a different lens and not the one that God has really called them to. You know what I mean? And this isn't the fault James or put him down or anything like that, because there might be people that are doing great things amongst you and you may not have an idea. You know what I'm saying? You may have no clue. It's really important that we're really conscious about the things we say, and it has nothing to do with status, has nothing to do with clout, has nothing to do with, rank, whatever you want to call it. It has everything to do with the character and who you actually are, because people are going to remember the things you say, not just the things you did, not just the places you went, not just the places they traveled. They're going to remember how you made them feel and the words that you said to them. And especially if you claim to be a follower of Christ, the eyes and the target is on you 1,000 times more. I'll see you guys, and hopefully this helps, because I got to work on it.